Hello, good evening, and welcome back. And I have now made over 100 videos, so thank you all for your support, or lack thereof. So, Prime Minister Boris Johnson, does his cabinet reflect, quote, modern Britain? You might be thinking, is this an angle the BBC are taking? No, no, no. New UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has appointed his top team, described as a cabinet for modern Britain. I've been looking at some Roy Bremner impressions of Boris Johnson, but that didn't happen yet, so I'll just do a caricature Churchill. So, do his appointments reflect British society? Here's how the cabinet breaks down. Oh, right. So, are the policies popular? Do people like what they have to say? Do they represent their constituents well? Are they good for the country? Do they follow the same sort of culture? Because politics is downstream of culture, as the late great Henry Breitbart said. So, yeah, let's see what their policies are, what they agree upon, and, of course, what the rest of the public think. So, about a quarter of the cabinet of women. Never mind. Who cares about what you're thinking when we can just grab your testicles or lack thereof? Because we all know it's much more important. Doesn't matter what you think. No. It matters if we can grab something or we just get sucked inside. So, 8 out of the 33 positions in Johnson's cabinet, including those who are not full members, have gone to women. Been earned by women. Please, the women have earned it. Compared with 51% of the general population. So, here we see how they've done. Comparably back to Margaret Thatcher, who had a 13-year reign. Okay. Compared to 10-year Tony Blair, who passed a load of socialist policies when just mouthing off and seeming charismatic, and then arguably committing war crimes. Saying, oh yes, I'll agree to that war before we even know why we're going to war. Like, good job, Tony. Great job. In terms of the overall number of women attending cabinet, never in British political history has the percentage reached 40%. Maybe they should try harder. Although there have been times when it has gone beyond 30%. Okay, cool. Bit of a shuffle. Under Margaret Thatcher, just 5% were women, and that 5% was herself. Which means pretty badass there. So these other women, no, you can earn it. I earned it. We don't need quotas. If I can do it, you can do it. And you men, yeah, I'm gonna tell you what to do because I've earned this position. So if you don't like women being in charge, find a different party because we're the Tories and we care about merit and not sex or race. So off you fuck. So yeah, Thatcher very badass there. So of course she's been divisive since then because she's actually got stuff done. It seems that the politicians that are either loved or hated are the ones who are actually good because they get stuff done. Record number of people from ethnic minorities, and here we have 6. Mr. Johnson has appointed 4 full cabinet members from BAME backgrounds, 17%, as well as 2 ministers who will attend cabinet, a record for any government. Well done, Bojo. Or Boris. Don't they say if somebody's charismatic, then you just use their first name, and then you know who it is. Like, how many adults have there been? Okay. BAME, which I still think should be BEAM, because then it'll be black, Asian, ethnic minority, and then the beaming out, and that's great. It's a term widely used in the UK to describe people of non-white descent. No, just ask your friends. Say, do you know what BAME means, as in B-A-M-E? No idea. Well, it's widely used in BBC's echo chambers, as defined by the Institute of Race Relations. Right, and I opened it up, and they do indeed say B-M-E or B-A-M-E. How do they define it? Because it's commonly used in the UK, so it's important to have a definition. Black and minority ethnic, or black, Asian and minority ethnic, is the terminology normally used in the UK to describe people of non-white descent. Right, so it's circular reasoning works because you get the idea. And non-white descent, what does that mean? So English people then, white, right? And then French people, white, sure, let's go down. Spanish people, white? I mean, they're like the Mexicans, because that's why they speak Spanish, who are, no, they're not white. So Spanish aren't white. So Greece aren't white? Or they are? Hang on. And then what about Turkey? Because Bulgaria, Turkey, when you get into that area, we're going to say they're white or they're not white? Because then what about the Uyghur Muslims in China? Are they white or not? How do you count white? Are you going to get with, was it from Family Guy? You just look at that colour chart with the skin colour and just say, okay, not okay, the darker they are. Yeah, so who is white or not white? An ethnicity or ethnic group is a group of people whose members identify with each other's through a common heritage, often consisting of a common language, common culture, which can include a religion, and or an ideology which stresses a common ancestry. It is the way that most countries and peoples choose to delineate groups and has suspended the biological idea of race. Right. So if you're from a different country, entering another one, but you have your cultures, your customs, or whatever, because your country, they have their own culture within their borders, then you are of a ethnic minority, right? Because it isn't to do with race or skin colour, right? So if, I don't know, let's say your parents move from India through Uganda and then onto the UK, then you're an ethnic minority, like Priti Patel here. Fair enough. What about if they come from Czechoslovakia, move to the UK, then you're an ethnic no, you're not an ethnic minority, no, because then you're like Dominic Raab, and he doesn't count, he's just a straight white man, which as we all know is evil. So according to the Institute for Government, there have been only 5 full cabinet members from such backgrounds. Well done, Sajid Javid, the egg, and he's still there. But it is interesting with Priti Patel, who's tough on crime, describes herself as a Thatcherite, that she's going to be responsible for, or she's Home Secretary, so policing essentially. So she's then going to have to give Sadiq Khan something to work with, and if crime goes down everywhere else, but still increases in London, particularly violent crime, then maybe at that point Sajid Javid can't say it's police cuts, considering Bojo did better. So it's already bullshit, but hey, maybe that'll put the final nail in the coffin, finally, for Sadiq Khan. But that definitely looks interesting to me, and of course, seeing as she is a minority ethnic woman, she's a Mew. She's a Mew too. Oh no, Me Too campaign, Mew too, I love it. But because she is, then she can't be racist or sexist, unless it's internalized racism and, oh no. They've got one step ahead. More than half were privately educated. Cool. I don't see a problem with that. I mean, if you've got elitism and you're a class party, fair enough, you can fuck off. But if it's, something studied worthwhile and you don't have the elitism and you're going to do well because you know what you're talking about, good on you. If universities are going to be like they have been before, like in the 80s here, we have Margaret Thatcher, 1979, 91% privately educated. Good stuff. And we talk Oxbridge, again, we had 81% were Oxbridge graduates, and all the prime ministers were from Oxford except for Gordon Brown, who's from Edinburgh. Yes. Compared to the UK population of just 1%. Well, yes, it's supposed to be prestigious and difficult to enter. It isn't supposed to then be quotas to... It's like in America with their top unis, colleges. Okay. It's okay, guys. We know what's right, and we'll let you do whatever you want in 1776. We'll be back. Because we're escaping from England, most likely. But where there's 170 SAT points between Asians and blacks. And by Asians, I mean Orientals, not Middle Easterns. But anyway... So, let me know who you think below. Are they just going to try and drag through to say, oh, you don't have enough wham in there? And then, of course, the women are going to speak out and say, hey, fuck off. We've earned this place. Don't try and force other people in and say, we only got it because of quotas. Off you fuck. As I'm sure Priti Patel would be very pleased to do. Maybe she's just waiting for that. And Michael Gove has been given a ministerial role. I think the idea, because Michael Gove is intelligent, he is a bit of a snake, I suppose, and therefore the thought is that Boris Johnson has just put him there so that he can't create a response or an attack, some sort of retaliation, and he's there. He's given him something to work with, but not much, basically. Just saying, yeah, just be busy. The other thought is that he's to prepare for a no-deal Brexit, as he's quite punctual and good on getting things done quickly. So, let me know what you think below. I'm always interested to know what you guys have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Here's to another 100 videos. Hopefully another 82 subscribers. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much and have a good evening.